Daisy Bates was a key factor in shaping our social and educational history at a moment of constitutional crisis. She will surely be remembered for her courage in withstanding verbal threats, verbal abuse, and physical change in her efforts to make room for everyone within the framework of American democracy through the Little Rock Nine. Bates was born on November 11, 1914, but was later to be adopted and moved to Huttig. Huttig was a small sawmill town, so she never really felt out of place until the age of 7. Her mother asked her to go buy some meat for her at the grocery store when she was sick. When at the store, Bates asked for the meat, but the butcher kept ignoring her. After a few times of Bates trying to receive his attention, the butcher finally shouted, "Niggers have to wait till I wait on the white people." This event definitely opened up Bates' eyes to segregation, but this is not the event that made her really mad. The event that made her really mad was when she found out that her mother was raped and murdered by 3 men. This event caused her to build up a lot of hatred and anger towards society as a whole. Right before her father passed away, he gave her some inspirational words of advice that guided the rest of her future. He said, "You're filled with hatred. Hate can destroy you, Daisy. Don't hate white people just because they're white. If you hate, make it count for something. Hate the humiliations we are living under in the South. Hate the discrimination that eats away the South. Hate the discrimination that eats away the soul of every black man and woman. Hate the insults hurled at us by the white scums, and then try to do something about it, or your hate won't spell a thing." She took this advice, and this led her to success in the future. At age 15, she met and married her husband, Lucius Christopher Bates, also known as Elsie Bates. They were both very active in journalism and created the Arkansas State Press, a weekly statewide newspaper. The Arkansas State Press was primarily concerned with advocacy journalism. The paper became an avid voice for civil rights even before a nationally recognized movement had emerged. These two also became very active in the NAACP and eventually became elected as the president of the Arkansas branch in 1952. This is where her movement with the Little Rock Nine began. After the Board of Education bill passed, Bates was chosen to be a representative for the Aaron versus Cooper case, which set the stage for desegregation in 1957. Bates won the case and started a selection process for students to be a member of the integrated schooling system. She picked 9 students that would lead the nation through attending Central High School. The first day of school, the students ended up getting escorted out due to riots that were happening in the school and on the streets. This caused Governor Orville Faubus to call in the National Guard to prevent entry into the school. During this time, Bates opened up her house to 9 students and wrote to President Eisenhower to resolve the conflict. It took 2 weeks for this to happen, and during those 2 weeks, her house was the battleground for the civil rights movement. The house had rocks thrown out the windows, bombs planted outside, and even a cross burned in the lawn by the Ku Klux Klan. The 9 students were about ready to give up, but finally Eisenhower had a solution by bringing in federal troops to help guard the students to keep their safety. Ernest Green, one of the 9 students, remembers how hard suffering was and was ready to give up. But all he remembers is Bates saying, "Look at this very important moment. The fact that the President of the United States has sent the United States Army here to escort you into the school means that the government is finally serious about school desegregation." And it was. At the end of the school year, Ernest was the first black student to graduate from an integrated school. Bates is the perfect example of a leader because she truly had a vision for what she wanted to do. She was looking at the big picture the whole time and was creating social change from the grassroots level. She was adventurous and was not afraid to speak out for what she believed in. She was able to align her vision by building a team and making sure everyone on her team. That takes a lot for a leader to build a trustworthy relationship with a team when someone's life is at stake. But she was committed and she was not going to give up. She also encouraged everyone along the way and held herself accountable to her actions. In the end, she ended up executing her idea and received the results she wanted. She was driven to seek a change and to initiate an action that needed to take change. Today, Bates is honored for all of her hard work. In 1957, she was named Woman of the Year by the National Council of Negro Women. In 1984, she was given an honorary degree of law at the University of Arkansas. The state of Arkansas also declared a Daisy Gatson Bates Day a national holiday, and they named multiple streets and even the Daisy Bates Elementary School after her. One of the last honors she received before she passed away was in 1999 during her 80th birthday when she was asked to carry the Olympic torch during the Olympic Games. She had over 1,400 people gathered, cheering, yelling, and encouraging her the whole step of the way. We know from studying history that freedom exacts a price, and Daisey Bates was one who was willing to pay that price. She remained optimistic even when others tried to shatter her. She truly resembles what a real leader is.